I wasn't going to do another live, honey. I saw this post where shout out to Brianna Jenkins Esquire. Um, I started following her recently on Instagram. We've been friends on Facebook. You know I love you, boo. We have our differences, but she has always, like supported me, even when other people supported me. And I mean, that's what it's about. It's about having differences. I had to do this live today when I saw T.S. Madison respond to how they had just been raking her over the coals because everybody has been raking her over the coals. Like comedy hype, I did not like the language, how they titled it. I haven't watched D.L. Hughley. I don't follow him. I don't really care. Tavis Smiley, I'm not even much about to go there because black people need to come together right now. So I'm just not even going to put my mouth on that right now. Black indigenous people, queer people, femmes, there's so much connection that needs to happen right now. So I'm not going to put my mouth on a lot of the bloggers that's just been doing what bloggers do. Yesterday, I was even on Armand Wiggins' video and I appreciated him lending his platform to the girls. I don't often go on his platform, but he had Maddie on there, and I supported his platform yesterday. Um, and yeah, so I just been really like on the internet a lot here lately. I'm about to, fall back because I have things going on. I have a life, and I'm balancing a lot of things. I have a lot of things going on in my personal life, but I do want to be present for this conversation because I do realize that we are living in critical times. I needed the Laverne that I saw today. It's so interesting because I literally just made a post yesterday talking about how, and let's be clear, me and Maddie, the last time me and her have exchanged words was when that violence happened to me on Bourbon Street. And she had made the comment, and she was literally doing a show with Flame Monroe during the time, and she was like, if I wouldn't have said certain things or if I wouldn't have, alienated her, then she would have been able to use her platform to amplify, the violence that had happened against me in Louisiana. And I had a very like catty approach. I was like, well, maybe I don't want your followers. Like it was like a little backwards and forwards. And that's the last time me and her have physically exchanged words. But ever since then, like I go on her posts, like I support her, like, I definitely support her growth. I see her growth. But I could tell that Madison and a lot of other girls, they have this, they're very guarded, especially when you get to a certain level of access. You don't have time to be playing with people trying to get to know if they're gonna hurt you or if they're gonna betray you. So once a person show you something that you don't like, once a person show you any type of discord or some type of controversy, I don't have time for all that. I'm trying to get to my bag. I'm trying to support those who I love. You start closing your circle and you really don't have the space to make room for a girl who may be in a different part of her journey, and that's why she coming at you. But I've came at Madison several times because for me right now, she is someone who speaks who I can understand. She like I get Laverne. You know what I'm saying? I understand Laverne. I had a when I was in school, my comprehension level was 12th grade when I was in the 6th grade. So I've always been able to comprehend big words and articulate people, but I like kitchen table talk because I was raised by old women. I was raised by my grandmothers and my great grandmothers, and they made things plain. So that's my first language. But where me and Madison clash is you could tell she was raised by older women too, but she never evolved past that Christian spirituality. And so, and Christianity itself, the way that it's being taught to us, can be a very gatekeeping and oppressive language. Do I need to go to the Bible and pull it out for you right now? What they was doing to women, how they treated women, how men saw themselves. The whole language of the Bible, it's taught to us in a very oppressive way, and it's hard to get past that. And so there's some rhetoric that she often spills that is based in a trauma that is creating a lot of the problems right now. When I hear Madison talk, she talks about policy a lot. A lot of people are afraid to say anything about the religion and what the religion has taught us, and that's why I appreciated about what Armand Wiggins said yesterday, because he did bring up that the Bible has been a major influence on how Black people, Black Indigenous people in particular, are responding to trans people, how they're responding to queer people right now. And so nobody wants to have that conversation because y'all don't want them Christians mad at y'all. But I don't care. Y'all don't want y'all scared to tell the truth and talk about how the church, this is why I've always worked on my spirituality. This is why I publicly worked on my growth. This is why I've publicly gotten to the place where I am now, because I want you to see my growth. I want you to see where I came from. I was, oh, how I love Jesus. Now I'm burning candles and honoring my mother and my father, my grandmother and my grandfather, and non-binary individuals, because I've been doing that work of healing from this narrative of I need to worship him. Won't he do it? Fall on your knees. He's all right. He's an on time. Y'all do that for a bag. Y'all do that for your 9-foot sack. And it's not cotton no more. It's paper now. Y'all still doing the same thing that creates the oppression that we have to navigate. Y'all still doing it. And I agree with Laverne. Get your coins. Get what you need to do to survive. But some of y'all just greedy. It's not about generational wealth. It's about greed. It's just plain greed. You're greedy. You're coveting what your oppressors have had, and you just want the opportunity to be the oppressor. Point blank, period. Let's just call it what it is. A lot of y'all out here with this black power this and black power that, y'all are just, y'all are pimps. Y'all are grifters, and y'all out here using the pain of our people, because there's a lot of trauma in our community, and y'all capitalizing off of our trauma. Like gatekeepers have been doing for centuries in this nation. But just know I see you. I might not say anything, but I see you. Glorifying all the wrong things with your platform. I see you. You speak well. You're articulate because you went to these colleges, these institutions that taught you how to manipulate your people's trauma, how to capitalize off of your people's trauma. You're no better. This is why I say that white is not a color. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of being. White supremacy. Laverne said privilege is contextual, but I'm going to make it plain. It's going to be some kitchen table talk for me. White is not a color. It's Caucasian, but white is different. You like things the white way. Not the right way, the white way. And it's a lot of people darker than me with dreadlocks, kinky hair. Don't buy it because she wearing a dashiki. Don't buy it because he wearing a dashiki. Don't buy it because they're giving you... It's a lot of Africans that are elitist, that are classist. Take it from someone who's actually lived there. These girls be traveling and they go everywhere but to the slums of Africa, because that's showing you who they really are. Cause you don't want to go and see the truth. Y'all always talking about Pan-Africanism and Africa this and Africa that. But when you go to Africa, you go to the bougie places. You go to Egypt and stuff. No, ma'am, you need to go to them hoods. You need to go and see what it's really hidden for. A lot of y'all always speaking and walking around here acting like you African royalty and using that narrative. We were already here, though. A lot of us were already here. We've been here. We're everywhere. Our melanin started all this. We were the first oppressors. And you know what happened? Our babies, our offspring, they said, oh, the student became the teacher. And they said, we gonna one up y'all. Y'all had servants that y'all treated poorly. We gonna have slaves. We gonna do chattel slavery. We gonna one up y'all. And if you want to understand this, you don't need to research it. You just need to open your eyes. Open your eye and look around, because everything is nothing new under the sun. All of this has happened before and it's happening now. Look at how we engage with each other. Look at how we interact with each other now. I know it's an elitist in me. I know it's a bougie person in me. I know that I'm capable of all sorts of acts because I've taken the time to get to know me. I'm over here working on me. And this is why a lot of girls don't expand my platform. This is why you don't see other black trans women sharing me. Now, they come and watch because my numbers go up. Trust me, they're watching. They've been watching. They know me. When they see me in person, hey, how you doing? It's a whole different energy. They know me. They watching, but they won't acknowledge me. You know why? Because when you share my content, when you let people see me, when you put me out there, then when people I've watched this in engagement and people that I don't even know. When I'm windmilling in the comment section for my people, when I'm windmilling for not just trans people, but for black women, they try to call me a feminist and I crack their face and I say, no, I'm a holist. I'm not a feminist. I'm a holist. Because I'm here for my mother and my father. I've windmilled in the comment section for black men the same way I windmill in the comment section for black women. Trans or cis, I windmill for everybody. But I'm also going to call a spade a spade. I'm not going to let you make it if I think that you're being unfair. I'm not just going to give you a pass just because we look alike. Because all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I'm going to get you together with the same measure that I got this person together. And that's why a lot of people don't share my work. But what happens is when I'm windmilling in the comment section, reading a person or getting a person together because they play with somebody in my community, what they do is, if you're an intelligent person, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go and Google the person that you're having a conversation with. Oh my goodness, when they hit Google, they come back to me and they humble themselves and they apologize. I want you to, I wish you peace. I wish you bless. It's a whole different energy once they go, intelligent people. Once they go hit Google. And this is why my community does not give me the mic. Because they know that a lot of y'all gonna have to step it up. Because if this black indigenous person who grew up poor in the South can become this type of human being who did not have access, who did not have a lot of resources, if there's this type of potential for this being, everybody gonna have to step it up. So let's hide her. Because ma'am ain't got no college education. Ma'am is self-taught in a whole bunch of things. This being is self-taught. This being has taken the time to do all this work on themselves without having to be governed by somebody forcing them to do it. They weren't groomed to do that. And somehow they found the will, the discipline to become who they are. Because, baby, life could have been totally different from me. I could have been a molester because I was molested. I could be out here harming people because I've been harmed a lot. I could be a terrorist because I've been terrorized. But what do I do? I make art. I make things. I create. I use my art to heal myself. That's why I agree with her. I don't need to see a therapist. I'm my therapist. But if you need to see one, you see one. This is what I do. I make art. I turn pain. This is the pain of animals that I've eaten. These are turkey bones from a special meal that they went through suffering so that I could be nourished. So I turned them into art. I create things out of my pain. I'm my own therapist, and a lot of y'all need to learn how to be your own therapist because you can't trust everybody you go and talk to. But I needed to see this Laverne. I literally just made a post yesterday saying that I felt more home with T.S. Madison. Because T.S. Madison gonna give it to you gutter. T.S. Madison gonna try to tap dance and shuck and jive to get that bag. But baby, when you done crossed her, that origin story, if I got to fumble the bag, it's gonna come out. It's coming out. And that's what I live for about her. If you push her too far, she gon' baby, it's like Cinderella at 12 midnight. Everything gonna turn into pumpkins and rats. The magic is that's and she held it together very good yesterday in that live. I must say, I give her that. She held it together very good. She ain't have no grace for Tasha. And Tasha, you didn't deserve any. Tasha, you ain't deserve a lick of grace. Cause everybody know that you just trying to keep yourself relevant so you could pay back that money because your ego and your arrogance got you into that space and you still have not learned your lesson. $4 million in debt and your ego has still not downsized. You have moments of humility, but you need to have a lot more. At this point, I will humble myself to the point of doing a GoFundMe. I will turn into a spiritualist and just give my life over to the God Goddess, honey. Because at this point, then Jess took down the post and posted a picture of herself when she was young looking like a stud. Because I'm telling y'all, I still believe it's a trans man up in there. Still believe it's a trans man up in there. Everybody's saying she's struggling because she being mistaken for a trans person. That's not why that's not why she's struggling because she being mistaken for a trans woman. She's struggling because she have trans tendencies. I've always seen a whole person looking at Jess. I think that's why I'm attracted to her. Low-key sexually attracted to her. Because she gives me a lot of masculine energy. I'll be like, come on, Jess. Yeah, let me stop. I had a moment. But yeah. But yeah, just give me like, ooh, daddy, come on. just give me that energy, like. So everybody like, I think that's why she have issues with trans people because it's a mirror of who she is. We're all connected to each other and it's a mirror. And Jess is struggling with that. Y'all, that a lot of times it's deeper. Y'all just do surface stuff. Y'all want women who are born with wombs to be jealous of you because you eating it, because you went and had surgeries, because you want them to be, that's your trauma. You want women to be jealous of you. A lot of times that bitterness and that upsetness that comes from them is we living in our truth. We living in our truth and they want to live in theirs. They want to be free to be that, but no. They gotta play the game. And so a lot of times that freedom that we have, it triggers people. because they see the glory. They see how we look when we sit in front of the camera, skin looking all smooth and we looking curvy and we just walking in our power. But they don't know them bottles that we had to duck from. They don't know that how many times we got jumped on by dudes and how many times we was out there windmilling in the streets for our female friends as well as our trans friends. They don't know how many fights we had to go through to become who we are. They don't know that. They just see all of the benefits we get in now, but they don't know how we had to suffer. You know how many times I went to jail in my 20s? I just got arrested a month ago for driving without a license and not having no insurance on the car. And then when I got in there, my old name and stuff came up. My old sex came up, and they talking all up under my clothes. In there. My ID say female, and y'all still talking up under my clothes. Then y'all start misgendering me, and you already lied to me and told me you wasn't gonna arrest me. And this is the trauma that I've dealt with back to back. A week before, I'm sitting outside hitting some weed in a parking lot of a club. 6 Caucasian police officers come gather around me. 6 of them. All because I was smoking weed when they sell weed there. They was talking to me like they was like it was back in the days, like it was some Willie Lynch stuff. I'm in Tennessee when this happened. 6 white cops gathering around me. I had to bite my tongue because I was with friends and I didn't want to get them in trouble. And I was representing a conference, so I had to bite my tongue. I had to swallow that. I had to eat that. I wanted to stand up for myself because I just saw white people sitting here doing the same thing, smoking weed. Then when I do it. So not only am I this color, but I'm trans on top of that. And y'all keep saying that trans people don't go through the same thing that black people go through. No, we get it worse. And we have to learn how to eat it. We can't act like caged animals. We got to learn how to be strategic and to humble ourselves and to stuff it down for our survival. Then, after that happened with them Caucasian cops, not even 2 weeks later, I get pulled over by a black man in Georgia, a black cop. Same energy with my color skin. Except he was smirking as he told me to set the keys on the dashboard and put my hands behind my back and took me to jail. I haven't been to jail in over 10 years. And I went to jail and I sat in there for 4 hours thinking about suicide because he didn't have no respect for me. He treated me like I was nothing. So this is not about color. Because they got people that look like you that'll treat you worse than Caucasian people. And I wasn't going to share that on live. I wasn't going to talk about that. But y'all need to understand that what Laverne said is real. We living in times where they trying to take all of our rights. Where they using one group to fuck over another group. They using your hate, your animosity, your ignorance, and your disdain for one group to get another group together. That's the window in, that's the door in to get what they really want. And that's total domination. You have to remember how this started in a room. There was a whole bunch of Caucasian, elite, wealthy. It was the melting pot. It was the fondue. See, what you have to understand is when you put things into a melting pot, it becomes all the same thing. It all melts down and becomes the same thing. We don't need the melting pot anymore, boo. That's why I'm glad I'm from Louisiana because they teach us how to make gumbo. You get to be this shrimp. You get to be this okra. You get to be this bay leaf. You get to be this crab. You get to be this sausage. You get to be this tomato. You get to be this roux. You get to be whatever you want to be. And we mix it together and we make it taste good. And everybody still get to be themselves. Yet we all working together to make this beautiful flavor. I'm here for the gumbo nation. I'm here for the gumbo people. That's what I'm here for. I want the gumbo world. I'm sick of the melting pot. Because the melting pot means I have to keep losing pieces of myself in order to fit in. I needed kitchen table, Laverne. I needed it. I needed it. I know that it put you through some trauma. I know it hurted you to talk like that. I know it hurted you to talk like that, sister. I felt your pain. I felt your trauma. But I also saw the work. But I needed kitchen table, Laverne. I needed you to curse. I needed you to yell at that camera because we are all in pain. We are all hurting. People need to be able to see that hurt, but people need to see you process working through that hurt. We need to see that because that is a part of wholeness. My trauma is a part of my wholeness. My pain, my suffering, that is a part of my wholeness. We love saying, oh, mental illness, mental illness, mental illness. We live in a nation that has never had a president who identified as a woman. We live in a nation that has never had the most powerful religious leader to be a woman, to be a feminine dominant being, because we see femininity as weakness. That is mental illness. That is sickness. You cannot live in a society that is rooted in imbalance, in half truths, and think that there's not going to be mental illness. We don't understand our own chaos. We don't understand our own trauma because we bury it and try to pretend we're all masking trauma. No one's doing any work. Everybody's constantly being distracted, but no one can sit with themselves in that quiet and have them uncomfortable conversations. Round here judging crackheads, round here judging alcoholics. And forgive me for saying crackheads, crack users, crack abusers. I'm working on that. But we sit around here and make funny memes. Black people always making fun of trauma. And this is something that I do not care for in our people. We love making light of trauma. We love not making light of our own trauma, but making light of someone else's trauma. Then when the oppressor come for you, you want everybody to root for you and rally for you. You want everybody to show up for you after you. I look at the AT alien and I sit up there and I see how I watched a little bit of her show yesterday, and the way she talked about T.S. Madison. But then you'll be the first one to holler how black women get mistreated, how black women get disrespected. Where is your logic coming from? Like where is this based in? What spirituality is backing that? What's supporting you in in that in that affirmation of how you justify treating another human being? If I tell you to call me potato, call me potato. What is it costing you? And this is the thing about Atlanta. Georgia is a beautiful place. Beautiful people here. Beautiful looking people. Oh my goodness, there's so many beautiful, deeply melanated people in Georgia. Georgia is a beautiful place. So many gifted, talented people that look like me. But when I tell you it's so many coons here, so many gatekeepers, so many overseers. This is one of the most gatekeeping, cooning, overseeing. I ain't never seen so many coons in one place. That's for me. This mine. All of this. You can't have none. Did you do your papers? Did you sign your papers? You can't have this. This for me. You got to go through this process and get this done so you could. Really? When I'm in New York and I get on the bus or I get on the train, sometimes the police be around. But most of the time, we get on the bus. If we ain't got it, we ain't got it. Them people ain't finna sit up and argue with you about that bus and that train. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. They not finna run you off the bus because you ain't got no money to get on. They know people going. They know what we going through. They know what the economy is going through. Try to do that in Georgia. Try to walk through that gate for free. Try to get on that bus for free. It's gonna be your own people. They don't know what you got in your pocket. They don't know what your day been like. They don't know how you suffering. They gonna put you off. They will stop that bus over $2 and something. They're not about to do that. And find somebody else to do it. In New York, nah, people get on the bus all the time. Ain't got no money. Public transportation should be free. Because if I gotta sit on the bus and listen to y'all talk about COVID-19, listen to y'all tell me, program me, because you program the shit out of us on public transportation. You feed us the content that you want us to hear. If I gotta be programmed while I'm riding the train and while I'm in the public transportation system, I shouldn't have to give y'all no money. If I gotta listen to this, I shouldn't have to pay anything. You gotta tell me to wear a mask and put on all this. If I gotta follow your rules while I am navigating this system, then it should be free. If I gotta see homeless people sleep and piss on the train and bottles and stuff rolling everywhere from people being trifling, it should be free. Y'all need to pay your workers. You need to pay them. But public transportation, public, should be free. Public bathrooms are free. Public transportation should be free. But y'all don't care about people. Y'all care about what people can do. You care about people as a product. You care about people as consumers. You care about people as workhorses. But you don't really care about people. That's the kind of government that we got. Y'all don't really care about people. You care about what they can produce for you. Those are the type of people that we have in power. Those are the type of people that we have enforcing legislation, in administration, and in the judicial areas of our government. Those three branches of government, the people that are there are detached from reality, detached from society. Maybe at one point they was connected. Maybe they have a humble origin story, but by the time they get to the position that they in, they so detached from reality. Just detached. This conversation with Just with the Mess, this conversation with Just with the Mess this conversation that it sparked, I think it was necessary. I think all conversations are necessary. I just wish that this wasn't how we needed to come together. Because I think that new bonds have been forged, and I also think that it has helped us to see who is really with us, who is really in community with, because you're not my ally. I don't use the term ally. I don't got no allies. Either you're a part of my tribe, either we family, either we in community together, or we're not. Allies, I don't have that. I don't do allies. I don't even do accomplices. Either you with me or you against me. Either you're for me or you're against me. Period. Allies, accomplices, child, whatever for the Matrix. I say that when I'm up on the plantations. But in real life, in real life, either you for me or you against me. And it's okay to have a season where we against each other. Because this is how the water move in the ocean. Waves coming in and waves going out. The branches on the tree, one go this way and one go that way. So we can have our seasons where we not going in the same direction, where we don't see eye to eye. That's cool. Long as we understand and we make that connection and we let each other know this where I'm at with this. This how we moving. This what we doing. But if we ain't never had that conversation, depart from me because I never knew you. And a lot of y'all, it's gonna come a time where you gonna need somebody to advocate for you. You gonna need somebody to show up for you. But you have to ask yourself, have you ever showed up for them? Cause I don't owe none of y'all nothing. You know who I owe loyalty to? Not black people, not trans people, not women. I owe loyalty to those who are loyal to me. I don't owe loyalty to any construct. See, this is where me and my big sister, my auntie Laverne, is different. I will let you all have it. I am not trying to show no united front, but I will speak to you with love and respect. I will address you with love and respect. But calling you in, holding you accountable, letting you get a I'm not letting you get a pass because you look like me. Because you have the capacity to do more harm within our network. You have more capacity to perpetuate that harm within our network. And if you make the discretion publicly, I'm going to confront you publicly. Maybe the first time I might slide in your inbox. But if you do it again, I'm going to confront you publicly. If I don't have access to you, because a lot of y'all, like T.S. Madison, Hope Giselle, I don't see Angelica do it that much. Flame doesn't do it at all. But a lot of the trans women, they've started to limit their comments. And so you put out things and I can't come up under your posting comment. Well, guess what? If I can't come up under your posting comment and I can't call you and DM you and talk to you in private, then guess what I'm about to do? I'm about to go live. If I don't have access to you, I'm going live. Ain't no, I'm not going to publicly confront you. No, I'm going to go live. If I feel like you gaslighting me and I do have access to you, and I feel like when we was in the inbox, you was gaslighting me, I'm not going to walk around with resentment. I'm not going to walk around holding that on my spirit. I'm going to approach the conversation with a certain class, with a certain dignity. I've learned to be gracious because you know at one time I was not gracious. If you go on my Facebook, it's filled with graceless videos. And I am not upset about any of them. I said what I said. And it needed to be said at that point. And we can obviously see that it was not for nothing. Because now I can talk without screaming and hollering all the time. But I had to get that out. Healing don't always look good, honey. Healing can look very, very painful. It can look away. I was healing and I didn't get messed up in a few days. I didn't get messed up in a few months. It was years and years for me to get to that place of having all that suffering. I had to reconfigure my brain to look at the world in a different way because I believed in the binary. I thought Father God was it. And so I was grieving and mourning everything that my elders had taught me. I was going through a grieving process. And I'm just thankful that I had the strength to be vulnerable enough to go through that publicly. And a lot of us have not done that. We're getting on there using what we've learned in school to mask that monster that we still are. A lot of our leaders behind the scenes are monsters. I'm not talking about just the trans community. I'm not talking about just the black community. I'm not talking about just the queer community or the gay community. A lot of people who sit in front of this camera and smile and act like they got it all together are cutthroat monsters. Performing healing. And so when y'all see someone who is capable of being vulnerable, who is capable of being whole, who is capable of saying everything that's on their spirit in front of the camera, y'all don't even know how to process that because y'all so used to seeing frauds and phonies and fakes. That's the normal for y'all. That's what y'all used to. So when you see somebody whole, when you see someone let loose, y'all don't know what to do with that. But like I said in my poem, I ride the bench for the new tribe, the whole ones who got nothing to hide. Dark is the bottom of the sea, still connected to that water I just poured in my tea. They gonna show us how to thrive, problem solve and evolve. Not a slave to the matrix, playing catfish with fake pics, abusing time, playing cheap tricks. I'ma look behind this curtain and see life path numbers 4 and 3, 7 going on 8 shaped like infinity, cause I'm infinitely tapping into my divinity like a trinity, both physically and spiritually. Nothing can hinder this. I am the genderless offspring of it all. Remove us and the whole thing falls and starts again. That's gravity, my friend. Thought we wasn't there, but we was there too. See you in a minute, cause we about to come through to Mocha Knot. That's nothing and everything, the scene and the hitting. Clock and secretized, don't fall for the division. Cosmic balance be the intention. About to cut in and make this incision. We ain't afraid of some friction, opening portals to new dimensions. Oh my God, it's God today. Thank you. Whew. We ain't afraid of some friction, opening portals to new dimensions. You gotta speak that liberation. The seen and the hidden. Clock and secret ties don't fall for the division. That's a whole sermon. Being able to see what's in front of you and also being able to see what they don't want you to see. Seeing how There are forces that are working together collectively in front your face and behind the scenes to keep you right where you at. My goddess God today. Clock and secret ties don't fall for the division. Just because I could see what's going on, it don't mean that I'm gonna be quiet and not let you know. See, a lot of people, they see what's going on and they peep game, they don't say nothing because that bag is more important to them. Getting that money. I ain't got time to entertain that. Let them learn it the hard way. Let the chips fall where they may. Hey, collateral damage happens when you a boss. Shit gonna do what shit gonna do. Now I've gotten to that point. I ain't trying to save everybody because everybody don't want to be saved. But I'm not gonna be so quiet that I forget if maybe somebody would have said something to me. See, I was when I was younger, I was different. When I was 17, 18 years old, I was different. When somebody was trying to speak life to me and encourage me, I wasn't so busy that I didn't have time to sit and listen. And so I got to remember the me that's coming. I got to remember the me that's here. And I want to always speak to them. I always want to stop and say, that's why I got up and spoke today. You know, I want to affirm. I don't know if Laverne gonna see this video. I think, when I put out my videos, even though I don't get thousands and hundreds of thousands of views, I like to think that some of the views that I get be from people who up there. Cause I've been putting out videos for 13 years. So I like to think that it's an exclusive party. I like to think that some very important people watching my shit. That's why they don't never interact with it. But blessings always find their way to me. Oh, thank you. I have left the country 3 or 4 times without a job. No college education. Nobody in my immediate family has done the things that I've done with no education. Black, trans, been living with HIV, the nothingness, almost 20 years. Published my first book. Nobody in my immediate family has ever done that. I have a vast collection of art, content that is always relevant. I can share things that I've said 4 years ago. Now, when you go on my Instagram, when you go on my stories, I started integrating other things into it because I want to share other people's art and other people's storytelling. But I literally have so much content that is still relevant to this day because my content isn't based in what's trending. My content is based in what's eternal. So relevancy builds as people become more conscious. I share things that I said years ago and nobody paid it no attention, and I share it now and the engagement be like, because I focused on my craft. I didn't try to keep up with the trend because I'm a trailblazer. I'm always moving behind or ahead of, but never focusing on what's going on right now. The reason why I'm speaking on this right now is because this is an eternal conversation. This still, the stuff that I'm talking about now, going to be relevant 5 years from now. Going to be relevant 10 years from now. When I get on a live or when I speak on something, 90% of the time, it's something that's going to be relevant years from now. I don't just talk to hear myself talk. I ain't going to say I ain't never done it. But there was a time when I couldn't. There was a time when I was so busy trying to blend in and fit in as a female and not get clocked and didn't nobody know my tea. I was just trying to tip through. I ain't got nothing to say. Don't look at me too hard. I'm trying to get my tea. But now I'm in this place of loving myself, my whole self. What they said in Color Purple, I know what it like to want to sing and can't sing and to have it beat at you. That's where I am now. A man, a woman. But yeah, I don't want to. I've been on it here about 50 minutes. I just wanted to get on here and I realize we living in a crucial time right now. But I'm just thankful to Laverne for what she said. I got this at Wolf Creek, so I made this yesterday. I wrapped this. This is a stone that I got when I went to the water the other day. And these are some earrings that I'm working on that I made out of the chicken bones. Now one is longer than the other one, but who gonna still rock them girls? Oh, who gonna still rock them girls, even though one longer than the other one? Because that's how it was, girl. This is some Popeyes that me and my daughter ate. Um, and then these is the other ones that I made. And so they like on that side. And they kind of hollowed out on the inside. But yeah, they real pretty, huh? Yes, yes. And so all the colors represent different energies and ancestors. Like that's all of my art is kind of like that. If you notice, I have a pattern of doing that. Like all of this represents something. Like every color represents something. Um, yes, yes. This is an infinity symbol. Yes. So yeah, my art is therapy for me. My art is therapy for me. That's how I do self care. But yeah, so let me light a candle. I'm gonna light a candle. We're gonna do a little prayer. Cause I really honestly I have other things that I need to be doing. I've been giving so much energy to life. Like I have been putting off other responsibilities that I have. I just been trying to distract myself because I just been so busy. Like sometimes I just be wanting to check out, like I just be I don't want to do nothing. I just want to watch Netflix today. I don't want to be productive. I don't want to do nothing. I don't feel like I just want to lay here. I just want to have a moment just to do that. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to use my brain for a second. I just want to, like my friend Nova Luxurious say, just lay here. I just want to lay here. Like that's it. Like I'm trying to do nothing else. Like, but I realize that there are deadlines coming up for opportunities, and if I want to capitalize off of those opportunities, if I want to expand the platform and the work that I'm doing, I definitely need to submit these papers and render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, so that I can secure that bag, get that paper. Let me light this candle though for y'all. So let's light this candle. So I'm lighting the candle of prosperity. Green represents fertility, abundance, and prosperity. And I want to send this healing energy to all of my sisters, whether you are trans, whether you are queer, whether you are black, indigenous, whether you are gay, straight, Caucasian, Asian, Latina, Honduran, whatever. All of my family, all of my ancestors, all of them, both direct and indirect, whether you are four-legged furry baby or you are a creature of the water, honey, I want to acknowledge you right now and just give thanks for everything that is incarnate, everything that is animated, whether it be a tree or a blade of grass or a little ant moving on the side of the road, honey. I want to acknowledge you and I want to say thank you for being. Thank you to the bees and the flowers. Thank you. Thank you for the birds that's chirping outside. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for those entities that come to challenge me. Thank you for those entities that challenge me because it wakes up a passion in me that reminds me that I have a fight in me. Because when you ain't got no fight in you, are you really alive? So I'm thankful for those moments that come to try me because it allows me the opportunity to show my growth and my resilience. I'm thankful for that. We light this candle to guide home the ancestors who are transitioning, who are moving on to the next part of the journey, whether it be in the physical sense or whether it be in the spiritual sense. This candle represents the past, the present, and the future, which in my mind are the true Trinity. What is here, what was, and what is to come. As I blow out this candle on the physical plane, it grows with the fire and intensity on the spiritual plane, preparing us for such a time as this. A man, a woman, lelem, lela. As above, so below. As within, so without. As above, so below. As within, so without. As above, so below. As within, so without. Whether I be short or tall, big or small, dark or light, wrong or right, somehow I am connected to the divine. Amen, a woman, they limb, they love. I love y'all. Have a beautiful day. Thank you, Laverne. Thank you for letting us see that side of you. And I love the way you addressed Jess. That was just so tactful. That was just so I learned from you today. It was very tastefully done. Baby, them 50 years have taught you a lot. So I watched it from start to finish. And I saw you go through your feelings, and I saw you wrestling and dealing. Get your bag. If you need to, be messy and get your bag. But don't do it on the backs of people who are already marginalized in this. I lived for the way you did that. Thank you. I love Maddie, how she bring it all home. But I think as I mature, I'm learning that we need to be able to articulate ourselves in a way that does not normalize always speaking from a place of pain. Because when we say, I'm hood, I'm this, da 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 da, da, and we normalize that, what we're normalizing is speaking from our trauma. And trauma has been home for me for so long. Trauma has been my home for so long. And I'm tired of living there. I'm ready to live. I want to live. I want to live old in a building not made by trauma. My grandmother used to sing that song. She used to sing two songs. She used to sing, I've had some good days. I've had some hills to climb. But when I look around, And I think things over all of my good days, outweigh my bad days. I won't complain. I love y'all anyway. Later.